Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's second video, doing European Outlook for today's second video. So as always on a Thursday, have a detailed look at the weather for next week to 10 days across Europe. I should get on that for you in a moment. Just say about the first video today was our 6 AM UK weather forecast. We've got a day to 14 there with all our red features coming in for you later on this afternoon as well. And we are scheduled to have a Christmas update as well, so watch this space on that. Please like, share, subscribe on all today's videos and content. Thanks so much, everybody, for doing that. Right, going to start off across Europe. Situation across Europe today. Big blocking area of high pressure sitting over Greenland and back into the Arctic. Deep trough low pressure across central and western parts of Europe. Cold east northeasterly winds being dragged in between the block and the trough. And then down in the south, we've got southwesterly winds bringing milder or warmer air into southern parts of Europe. Upper air temperature quite warm down across the south of Europe, colder though across central, northern and western regions. South precipitation is looking today, so largely dry through much of Mediterranean, but we come up to Spain, Portugal, we find heavy rain through there, and then heavy rain through France, turning to snow as it pushes over towards the eastern side of France and towards the Alpine regions. More snow into some eastern parts of Europe, Austria, Hungary, for example. Could be seeing some snow through there, maybe into western parts of Romania. Further north, it's bitterly cold. We've got snow across the Baltic Sea states of Latvia, Estonia, Lithuania. Snow through eastern parts of Sweden as well, and up into northern Finland too. And then back into western Europe, we've got outbreaks of rain, sleet and snow through northern parts of France and in southwest parts of England, with snow showers into northern and eastern parts of Scotland. Bitterly cold across the north of Europe today, widely sub-zero temperatures, and very cold across the eastern side of Europe as well. Even as we come into Germany and Poland, both temperatures are struggling to get much above freezing. We're going to go right way down to southern parts of Europe to find being warm temperatures today. Tomorrow, Friday, seeing this scenario continuing, really blocking again, continuing around Greenland. Trough of low pressure into the northwest Europe, still pulling in most cold northeasterly winds, and the upper air temperatures are looking bitterly cold across Scandinavia and into the northeast of Europe. Cold upper air temperatures out to western Europe as well. But we go further southwards, that's where we pick up those warmer southwest winds. Actually quite hot there through like North Africa into Corsica and Sardinia with a plus 15 Celsius isotherm. Southern parts of Italy, probably including Malta too. So looking very warm through the southern and southeastern part of Europe, but really cold out to the north and to the west as well. And of course, there's weather fronts that are marking the boundary between the cold and warm air. So heavy rain again through southern parts of France, turning to snow as it moves over the Alpine region, snow southern parts of Germany and Poland as well. And then pushing over into the south of Ukraine, we have some snow through there too. To the south, that mostly dry and plenty of quite warm early December sunshine. And to the north of that, where it's very cold and any precipitation across the north of Europe will be falling as snow tomorrow. Sub-zero day and night across much of northern, central and eastern Europe as well. Those cold temperatures back into the west too. So Germany, for example, not seeing temperature much above freezing all day, and even back to Ireland and the UK and France, temperatures are well below average. To the south though, quite a lot warmer, looking warm through the Med, into Italy, over the Adriatic to the Balkans, and down into the far southeast of Europe as well. Go for a Saturday, an area of low pressure is beginning to develop around Italy, starting to pull those colder temperatures a little bit further southwards and eastwards. Meanwhile, much of northern, central and western Europe remain very cold. Bitterly cold air continues to sit over Scandinavia, back into the west of Russia. See how that warm plume there is being pushed up towards the Black Sea, but there is a big temperature contrast, and on the northern and western side of that area of low pressure, the cold air is starting to tug in as well. So we will have heavy rain probably spreading into this eastern southeast part of Europe, which could rapidly turn to snow as that cold air digs in. That's the wet weather that we have on Saturday. So through the Balkans and those sort of areas, probably around the Adriatic, probably heavy rain through there, but go just a little bit further northwards onto the northern side of the Alps, let's say, and there we will find very, very significant amounts of snow, I think, on Saturday, and that cold air is gradually transferring southwards and east as well. Meanwhile, further north and west, snow shower continue across northern and western parts of Europe, also with the emphasis on a lot of dry weather as well. Very, very cold across the north of Europe once again. Sub-zero temperatures, really cold for Germany as well, and into eastern parts of France, seeing temperature probably going sub-zero by Saturday. So most parts of Europe of Europe looking very cold, but you see the warmth here in the southeastern corner, albeit it's starting to get squeezed out to the southeast. We go through into Sunday. And again, we've got cold air sitting across much of northern Europe. Again, this area of low pressure through Eastern Europe is starting to transfer further eastwards. Notice again those warm upper air temperatures being squeezed further eastwards again. So now really confined to the Black Sea, to Turkey, and down into Greece, becoming much colder by Sunday, even into the Balkans, and very cold air then extending northwards all the way up to Scandinavia. Maybe just going a little bit less cold in the far west Europe through Ireland, the UK, and some parts of France. That's how the precipitation is looking on Sunday. So a band of rain, snow coming across northern France and parts of England and Wales. Snow, of course, further northwards across Nordic regions and into the Baltic Sea states, snow showers through there. And then the wet weather around the Balkans, which will be turning increasingly to snow, of course, with cold air digs in, gradually spreading eastwards towards some of the Greek islands, and starting to fizzle out as it does so. Down to the south and the southwest Europe, mostly dry through there. The upper air temperatures look bitterly cold across many parts of Europe again on Sunday, particularly in the north, but very, very cold conditions through Germany and Poland I'm noticing here. And again, Austria, Hungary, those sort of regions in central parts of Europe, Switzerland again as well included, looking really, really cold through there. And cold out to West Europe, but maybe just a slight little recovery in temperature beginning to start taking place through parts of Ireland. That takes us through into Monday, so the next area of low pressure trying to come in from off the Atlantic on Monday. At the same time, the block just reducing in size a little bit across the far north, but most parts of Europe looking bitterly cold again, or certainly most parts of northeastern Europe looking bitterly cold again on Monday. And you see that the cold air is gradually migrating further southwards and eastwards as well, so the cold air beginning to start getting squeezed in towards Turkey and Greece even, for example, but at the same time becoming milder perhaps across the western parts of Europe, especially France, Spain and Portugal. And outbreaks of rain coming into western parts of France as that pushing cold air, something might turn wintry again into parts of England and Wales. Otherwise a lot of dry weather through the central and northern regions, but with some snow showers around, and the band of precipitation is introducing that cold air into far east and south east Europe, is making it into the Black Sea. That's rain on the forward edge, probably turning to readily snow on the back edge. Some heavy showers and maybe thunderstorms kicking off through southern parts of France, Côte d'Azur, and down into the Mediterranean. And the temperatures, well, they're looking bitterly cold across most parts of Europe again on Monday. You have to come to the far southwestern corner of Europe to find anything milder. That takes us into Tuesday. Again, the blocking area of high pressure just beginning to reduce down in size. Low pressure is gathering in the Atlantic, so slowly we begin to try and start reintroducing an Atlantic flow into Western Europe. However, most parts of Europe are still looking very cold, particularly in the north and the northeast Europe, so through Scandinavia, Nordic regions, Baltic Sea states, and down in towards the Ukraine, also back to northern parts of Germany and Poland. Again, we look bitterly cold as we get through into Tuesday. But notice in the Western Europe, it's still cold through the UK actually, but notice Ireland, France, and Spain, Portugal, as upper air temperatures just begin to start easing back up as more of an Atlantic flow starts getting going. Snow continues, snow showers continue across northeastern parts of Europe. Heavy showers and thunderstorms breaking out through Italy towards some of the Greek islands as well. That's as the cold air clashes with warmer air and instability is creating. Rain, sleet and snow across France, more wet weather heading in towards Portugal. And we've got outbreaks of rain, sleet and snow potentially through parts of Ireland and the UK as well. Again, most parts of Europe looking very, very cold on Tuesday, just in the far west. Is it that little bit milder perhaps? That's Wednesday, so low pressure deepens in the Atlantic, starting to turn wet and windy to the west of the UK and Ireland. Again, the blocking area of high pressure just being squeezed out, reducing in size, so gradually the block is starting to lose its influence, but we still have very cold air sitting across the north and the northeast Europe, but at the same time much milder air begins to push up the western side of Europe around this area of low pressure deepening in the Atlantic. Wet and windy weather pushing in off the Atlantic through Ireland into Britain, probably into western parts of France and also into western parts of Spain and Portugal. Big area of wind and rain through there. Snow further north in Scandinavia and the Nordic regions, but a lot of dry weather through these eastern parts of Europe before we run back into the showers, long spells of rain and possibly some snow on the northern edge into the southeastern corner. Again, bitterly cold air sitting across much of northern and eastern northeast Europe in particular, but gradually it's getting less cold or milder out in the west. That gets us through to Thursday. Very wet, windy conditions by then. Deep low pressure sweeping in from off the Atlantic. The block really retreating away into the Arctic at this point, and the coldest of the upper air temperatures starting to retreat away as well. So notice the Low Countries, Germany, even up to Denmark, and even into western parts of Poland, those upper air temperatures beginning to start increasing. The cold air, or the very coldest of the air, very gradually starts to retreat away into the far north and northeast Europe and the northwest of Russia. So turning milder in western parts of Europe, definitely by Thursday. Wet and windy weather piling in from the Atlantic as well into West Europe. Some heavy outbreaks of rain through there. That will turn rolling to snow, of course, as it bumps into the cold air. So through Denmark, through Germany. Yeah, with that precipitation bumping into the cold air, heavy snow like there before eventually probably turning back to rain and thawing out. And then snow as we come further north in towards Norway, Sweden and also Finland as well. And we've got some heavy showers and thunderstorms through Italy. They'll turn to snow over the Alpine regions, of course, largely dry in the southeastern corner, and more wet, windy weather coming in Spain and Portugal. The coldest of the year just starting to retreat away to the northeast, but really cold across Scandinavia and through the Nordic regions and into the northwest of Russia as well, through the Baltic Sea states. Going to be exceptionally cold, really, for so early in the winter through there. But out west, yes, it did get milder, and those milder temperatures are gradually beginning to ease their way further eastwards as well. I mean, I'll just run you on today 10, so that's next Friday, 8th of December. So the cold air retreating away further as these southerly winds start to bring wet weather, rain, sleet and snow in from the Atlantic. Low pressure, deep low pressure sitting across western parts of Europe. And then into the weekend of the 9th and 10th of December, well, the high pressure starts fighting back, actually. So we start to see that high pressure begins to strengthen over the west of Russia, trying to get wind back into an easterly across the far north of Europe. So that's something to keep an eye on. Generally forcing low pressure further southwards, so the rain, the wet weather gradually extending further southwards, turning very unsettled into the bed. Looking milder though still across western parts of Europe there. So an interesting week to come. Very, very cold week on the way for much of Europe. Gradually by the middle to last stage next week, the milder air will slowly start coming in from off Atlantic, but also with wet and windy conditions as the coldest of the air, for a while anyway, starts to retreat away to the northeast. If you've enjoyed this European Outlook, please do like, share and subscribe. Thanks so much for doing that. I'm going to be back shortly, you 10 to 14 there. For this week's European Outlook, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.